Greetings to everyone there in Duluth from our nation's capital, which by even Washington standards isn't working very well right now. As you know, I've been looking forward to being with you today in person, so it distresses me greatly that instead we're back here in Washington dealing with this destructive and unnecessary shutdown of our federal government and potential default on our national debt. You should know that I am supporting a bipartisan budget compromise agreed to, quite frankly, by the Republicans back in July that cuts federal spending in some areas far more than I would prefer, but which is necessary in my judgment in the short term to get our country up and running again. We have the votes to pass it, and I've joined many of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle in urging the Speaker Boehner, to let us vote so that we can get on with the urgent business of dealing with the budget, the debt, getting on with the long list of measures we need to operate our government, stimulate the economy, create jobs, create opportunities for the American people. Once the government is up and operating again like it should be, well then of course we can talk all we want, collaborate, negotiate on a final budget, where I for one will be advocating for deeper cuts in the so-called wars of choice and nation building abroad, places like Afghanistan. Well, at the same time, I'll be advocating for the allocation of more money, quite frankly, to rebuild America's infrastructure, our transportation, our education, and human development, creating jobs and opportunities here at home. Now, on to the reason we're here. I want to express my sincere and deep appreciation and thanks to Ed Heisler and men as Peacemakers, and to the Northeast Labor Council, and to everyone involved with the program for aid to victims of sexual assault, and for sponsoring this Men Against Trafficking event. Our message on this is very clear. Without men participating, the trafficking industry would cease to exist. So men need to step up, take responsibility, put an end to it. That's why the work that you're doing is so critical. It's so important to the cause of protecting our precious daughters and granddaughters, and to directing public and media attention to a pervasive problem in society that's all too often ignored. Now, while you're working hard in Minnesota, please know that I'm working hard here in Washington to pass the bipartisan End Sex Trafficking Act I sponsored earlier this year with Congressman Ted Poe, Republican from Congress, and a number of other colleagues on both sides of the aisle. We're also working hard to pass a complementary bill called the Justice for Victims of Trafficking Act. Taken together, these measures mark a real sea change in the way federal laws and policies address the children, both male and female, who are trafficked. What we're saying is they aren't criminals, they're victims. Victims of child abuse, victims of rape and violence, victims in many cases of kidnapping, who are entitled to all the protection, all the help and counseling our laws and society have to offer. At the same time, we want to assure that men convicted of participating in trafficking and buying these services feel the full weight of the law. No more free passes, no more looking the other way, no more slaps on the wrist. Day by day, we're building bipartisan support, and just as we finally reauthorized the Violence Against Women Act earlier this year, I believe we can be successful here as well. So my message for you is keep working, keep fighting, keep doing what you're doing. Together, we are already making a difference, and we're going to make a bigger difference until we end this scourge of trafficking once and for all. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you all soon, and I'm so very proud to be your congressman and so very proud of all the work that you're doing here today, in the past, and in the future. Thank you so much.